Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Rise here with Ranshin. That's right, Ranshin. We're going to be doing a dual commentary. This is the commentary of the week, as voted by you guys on SC2GG.com. Of course, you vote for all of the commentaries of the week, this one being no different. And in this match, we're going to be watching Red Nada versus Stork. That's right, Nada versus Stork should be epical. That's right, epical, new word. And that's the first set, actually, of the We Made Fox match versus Samsung Khan. So we should see a very exciting game here, especially because it's the first match. It's the first to start off the rest of the games and lead the way. And Nada, by the way, has not been playing all that much this season. So I'm very questionable on how good his play is currently. I don't know how much he's been practicing, but in Pro League, he only has like 4 or 5 or 3 or 4 games so far. This may be his 5th, I don't know, somewhere around that rate. And so I think he might have a tough time. Stork, of course, ranked number 1 by Kespa, but not that ranking in Pro League. In Pro League, he's in the top 20. So he's been winning a lot of games, not all of them. So we might have a tough battle here. I don't know. Stork kind of playing pretty good, though. And is it going to be tough for Nada to beat him? I think so. What do you think, Ranshin?
Well, Stork is kind of a bit of a slump right now, and of course Nada is the most vaulted player ever. He's one of the most successful StarCraft players in all history, has an insane amount of medals, it's not even funny. And, you know, maybe Nada has a little bit of a time to, like, uplift himself, you know, play a bit better. We'll see what happens there. If he's practiced a lot, maybe he still already has his usual skill. You don't forget the stuff you've done before. And with Stork in a little bit of a slump, I think this might actually equal things out a little bit. This is, of course, on Andromeda, which is very macro favored map, very long game. Lovely. Loves the long game. Not a lot of cheese opportunities, and pretty even between these two races. Favors Terran in other matchups, but usually here it's just pretty much even. So yeah, gas going up for Nada, so he's of course going for the standard quick mechanical build. I'm expecting a pretty good match here. That's all I can really say.
Yeah, I agree. You know, the rankings of both players against Protoss and against Terran, respectively, of course, Nada versus Protoss. He's about 59%, 58% win rate, where Stork is about 66% against Terran. So, I mean, Stork with a very good PVT record. And so I think it's going to be a little tough for Nada, especially, I mean, you're right, the map is pretty much even, although it slightly favors Protoss. I mean, that, of course, could just be the statistical anomaly or whatever, but I think that Protoss really do have a little bit of an advantage here because of the wide open middle, which allows for, you know, all that flanking against the Terran armies, and it just makes it kind of difficult for Terran to win sometimes. But, again, it's fairly even, so we should see a pretty close match. My only concern is how much has Nada played. I agree that you don't lose a lot of your skill, but keep in mind, Stork has that skill as well. He knows exactly what he's doing as well, so maybe it's a battle of, you know, just the experienced players going against each other, and I think we're going to be in for a really good game of StarCraft overall, so like you said, we'll just have to wait and see. It looks like Stork is actually going for ranged goons, so it looks like he's going to try to put the pressure on Nada early, and I don't think Stork has actually scouted him quite yet. Oh, maybe he did. I'm getting a little confused with the first-person views here. They're throwing me off a little bit. So, anyway, that's my brief synopsis, or maybe not so brief synopsis, of what we're going to see in this game.
Very interesting so far. Apparently Nada has not scouted Stork. I don't know, maybe he's just, for some reason, he went right into Stork's base, from what I could see. Maybe I'm wrong there. Then he went away. I don't know. They showed his first-person view a bit, and I don't see that he scouted Stork. I don't know if I'm wrong here. Somebody please correct me, but apparently Nada just hasn't scouted Stork yet. He's just realized here that now, but Nada early trouble right away. At this point, his scout is going to be denied. There are 2 Dragoons right on that ramp, and robotics facility coming up. So, ranged goons, maybe with quick reavers. We're going to see if he goes for a quick drop here. And, you know, if Nada doesn't scout this in time, if he doesn't realize this is coming, this could be very devastating. A reaver drop on an unsuspecting victim is, of course, very dangerous. Even dropping a couple of Dragoons would be pretty effective, I think, at this point. Pretty good choke block by Nada, though. The barracks using the supplies depots very well. 2 Dragoons being sent down, see if they can harass anything. Don't know if that's going to be effective. Second factory now going down, as well as a command center for Nada, so he's thinking of putting down a quick expansion. And I think tanks should be out pretty soon, so he should be able to hold off those Dragoons if they come up. Yeah, first tank is out. I don't think it has siege mode, so the Dragoons could possibly do some damage. Meanwhile, a Nexus coming down in the mineral only for Stork, and the command center is now ready. Several SCVs running around there. Dragoons still all over the place, and 3 Dragoons still trying to move in. Actually, apparently catching a lot. That's tanks there had to be repaired because it took some damage. So early trouble for Nada here. Does manage to get on a scout though, because Stork did move out those Dragoons. That scout not denied, so he's going to see that there is probably a drop up. Observatory first before the robotic support apparently. So Stork playing it safe, going to scout out first because he knows he hasn't gotten a proper scout in. Also, a Nexus coming in the natural now for Stork. So he's going for a quick-ass economic build. We'll see how well that goes. Could be risky if Nada knows this coming. Could send in and pressure him pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think you're right with that. I mean, one of the things we know about Stork is if his micro is on, his Reavers are beyond deadly. I mean, I think he could take out most players with just a Reaver and a Shuttle, and maybe a Dragoon on top of that. So if he does end up going Reavers, Nada's going to have to be very careful, and I think he should take full precautions with things like turrets. Looks like Nada's actually trying to push out at this point, though, going forward a little bit, trying to get maybe some map control going. It's actually a little bit of a timing push right now. He obviously just scouted to see what he had, and so he's going in with 3 tanks and 3 or 4 vultures, which could work out pretty well. I mean, it's going to be a pretty even food count, so if Nada does it right and micros his tanks correctly, he could be in a pretty good position. Those spider mines are certainly going to help. 1 goon going down right off the bat. Those spider mines getting picked off pretty well by Stork. Stork does have observers out as well at this point, and Nada actually doing a pretty good job of pushing in, doing a lot of damage here, taking out all but 2 goons. He still has 3 tanks that's gonna, and a couple more vultures here, so he's gonna be able to block pretty well with the spider mines and do a lot of damage with those tanks. He is attacking that secondary nexus that Stork has put down at this point, so Stork is gonna lose that nexus unless he can break out, but he only has those 2 goons, so he's gonna have a lot of trouble. And now Nada is getting a second machine shop, so he might just go pure tanks at this point, and then the nexus goes down, and that's gonna be pretty bad for Stork. Now the robotic support bay is coming down, and he's gonna try to do the best that he can to get those Reavers out and start that harassment, but he is behind at this point, losing that nexus so early on, and Nada is now getting his expansion up and running, so he's actually going to be ahead. And not to mention, I think Nada has his inside mineral, so does Stork, so Nada's ahead as it is. So amazing play by Nada, great timing push, and great timing getting these turrets up at this point as well.
Yeah, it's very nice. I find it very interesting that he didn't actually have siege mode upgrade. He just apparently went for quick mines. He didn't siege those tanks at all, just went right in, saw that he didn't need the siege mode, so siege mode is up now, although he didn't use it at all in that attack. I find that very impressive because, well, usually use siege mode, and I think that's possibly what Stork was expecting. He thought he could, like, back off and just wait for a slightly slower push than Nada actually did, moving in with those tanks and vultures very quickly, planting those mines in very good positions and just running his tanks right over as soon as it was backed up. Armory now going down for Nada, so he's possibly going to go for quick upgrades, or maybe even Goliaths to support that ground force of his, just in case Stork ends up going for Arbiters or any other support tech that ends up flying in the air. Observers up for Stork meanwhile, and there's nothing to take out those observers, so I think Stork has absolute vision. First Reaver is now out, as well as the Zealot coming out there. We'll see if he goes that, okay, Shuttle with the Reaver inside, so we're going to see how effective this harassment is going to be. Nada should see this coming. I saw him putting down a lot of turrets. There are turrets inside the bay. There are also siege tanks, so I think he should be ready at any position that the Reaver goes down. Stork has to be very careful here. Dragoons also being sent down, maybe as a possible smoke screen at the front. Another factory going down, so Nada macroing up properly. Citadel of a Dune going down, meanwhile for Stork. We'll see what he uses that for, possibly to just add speed to his Zealots to attack those tanks of his, and also taking down the 12 o'clock expansion, island expansion. That's very interesting. So Stork just countering Nada's expansion taking with his own expansion taking. We'll see how that works out for him. If this shuttle Reaver harass is successful, that could be very good. Okay, flies the harass, gets met by a turret. There has to be very careful. Uses that Reaver there apparently. Oh, and that Reaver is in the range of the tank, so Stork not going to be successful there. Denied so far. We're going to see how this keeps going on.
Yeah, so far I actually think that Nada's doing a pretty good job, although his defenses are spread out across the entire base that he has. So I think that Stork may be able to pick apart some sort of defense or find some holes in the defense of Nada. But right now, Nada is playing it very safe. Templar Archives going down for Stork as well, so we may start seeing some high Templar action. Of course, this is starting to get into a pretty heavy macro game. It looks like the top right might be some bases for Stork as well. I can't tell yet. I don't know if they had shown that, but we'll see very shortly. And Nada, in the meantime, is actually floating a barracks over to the top middle section as well. I can see it on the mini-map. It's got to be his building. I saw it floating much earlier. And now Stork positioned outside of Nada's main base, and he's going to try to slow down any push that Nada can come up with at this point. But, you know, Nada, of course, throwing down a lot of factories. And there's the barracks. There it is, going over floating. He's going to land and just put some Marines down there. Oh, brilliant. He better do that anyway. I hope he does that. Looks like Stork is actually going to just head back with the shuttle. He'll probably be able to defend this pretty easily. And at this point, that'll make it very difficult for Nada to do much damage here. But still, if he can even take out a few probes, it'll be worth it because Stork is only making probes from the Nexus. He's not really making or ferrying probes over. And oh, Fireback comes out, so he's actually going to take out the probes really quickly. It's unfortunate, though, he doesn't have stim, so it's going to be somewhat limited damage that he can do. Oh, I don't know if he's going to take any out. One. No, he didn't get any. No, and the Reaver's going to take him out. So, unfortunately for him, he doesn't manage to get any. Nada going to have to lift off. And Nada also getting his 4th expansion up and running, and he's got Goliaths out. So, really nice metal force here from Nada. And I'm wondering if he's going to push out soon. I think if he were to push out now, which it appears he might be, it could be a very good timing push. So, Stork might be in a little bit of trouble at this point.
Yeah, Stork has a lot of Dragoons out, although I don't see that many Zealots yet out there to react to those tanks. And he has a Templar Archives up. I assume those are for storms, although he has to get those Templar out pretty darn soon if he wants to storm those tanks. He has no other tanks, just Dragoons that are forced not being to back off, and the shuttle is there too, but Goliath's countered that pretty well. Stork looking a little bit like he's in trouble. Nothing but Dragoons, and finally Zealots come out there, but they still don't have speed yet, so there's not speed Zeals. They won't be able to counter there. Oh, the shuttle, something being dropped there. Okay, Zealot being dropped there, but not being too successful. Reaver also goes down, so, oh man, a lot of damage. Those tanks still, all of them alive, just moving in, not many of them sieging up at all, just moving right into those Dragoons, doing a lot of damage. So many Dragoons that you blew about everywhere. The Zealots now finally come out. I think they are finally speed upgraded. They are speed upgraded. They're going to rush right into those tanks. Those tanks, all not sieged, are going to be able to just retreat and counter those Zealots pretty darn well. Vultures now moving in as well. And a bunch of those Zealots get taken down. Meanwhile, turrets being set down in another position. Nada doing a very nice timing push here, catching Stork a little bit off guard, it seems. Stork in serious trouble at this point.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, with those turrets that he's just thrown up there, it's both unit blocking buildings as well as, oh, but nice Zealot bombs here. And Stork actually doing a pretty good job. It looks like he may clean this up. The shuttle goes down. The Zealots are still out, though, and it looks like the Reavers, sorry, not the Reavers, the Vultures are going to be a little bit slow in reinforcing, but it looks like Nada's going to hold. And now he's got Spider Mines down, and of course, no observers out for Stork. So Stork going to have a very tough time breaking this at this point. And now, I mean, Nada's in a great position. He is completely got Stork contained right now into his little base, and Stork is going to have a real tough time, especially if Nada starts floating a building over and shelling the inside natural mineral-only expansion. And as soon as he does that, and if he can take that out, it doesn't matter that Stork has that island, and oh, that's what he does. He's scanning, and he takes out all the probes, stops the mining there completely. At this point, Stork is in a lot of trouble. He needs another shuttle or two, do more Zealot bombs, and oh man, Nada just constricting around Stork like a freaking boa constrictor, and Stork with just nothing to say about it. He's building up his forces. He's going to try to do his best. Nada looking very confident, and by the way, playing really well. So Stork will have to see what he can do with this shuttle at this point. I'm not sure what he will be able to do, but let's keep watching and find out.
Yeah, Stork in a very difficult position here, a vice grip at this point. He hasn't done any economic damage to Nada at all. Nada, meanwhile, has, oh, nice Zealot bomb there. Didn't take out as much as he was hoping for, though. Dragoon's not moving in now. I was going to analyze this game a little bit, but apparently they're going to not let me. Bunch of Vultures and attacks, they're moving in. Dragoon's trying to move and take out as many of those Vultures as they can, but Vultures do plant mine very well. Mines, those, most of them do get cleared out. Those tanks now in jeopardy. Those Vultures also in jeopardy, but there are tanks slightly behind there that will be able to Oh man, push Stork right back in. Stork in such dire straits here. He hasn't done any economic damage. He knows he's in trouble. The early economic damage from Nada was very, very important and very heavy on Stork now, towing heavily. And Stork in serious trouble. He still has no Templar out, no Storms. Storms, I don't know, possibly Storms could help, but oh man, a lot of vultures going down there! Wow, look at that again! Bunch of tanks with a nice mind drags there, so nice. If Storm keeps this up, he might just at least hold off Nada long enough until he can do some proper damage. We'll see what it does though. Rice, any chance for Stork here? What do you think?
You know, he's doing a pretty good job. He's got a lot of breaking going on over here, but Nada is doing a great job with reinforcing. I'll be honest, I think Nada should be focusing more on vultures than anything else because of the speed at which they can reinforce the base that's so far away on Andromeda. And now that Reaver is starting to break out, it's starting to use those long-distance range scarabs that it has, of course, to destroy those buildings that are blocking him in so much. And in the meantime, Nada just continuing just to rally at the outside Stork's base, and I mean, this is exactly the type of commentary of the week I love to do, man. This is epical. I mean, it's completely, it's this, I mean, but not about to siege again on all the probes of Stork, and he's going to take out that mining once again, and that's something that we haven't mentioned enough. Stork not able to defend this properly, and he is down in numbers of expansions, I think, unless he's got something at the top right, but I don't know if that's actually a base or not. It still doesn't look like it is. Now a dropship, so Nada probably going to start using the top right area where it's blocked in by those two neutral buildings to start sieging even more with siege tanks, which is going to be very difficult for Stork to deal with. Of course, Stork's got a shuttle of his own, but still, even then, he's going to have a tough time. Stork going to go for a drop in the back, though, try to get some units on that tank to do some zealot bombs, but now with Goliath's over there, he's going to do the best he can, but not going to be able to do good enough, and man, the shuttle goes down, and now, drops going on in the middle base as well, and Nada is just attacking on all fronts. He's going to take out that goon. Great shuttle micro. He's going to be able to stay out of range of those cannons until they warp in, and he's going to just warp in back there. He's going to take them all out. He's also dealing with the probes very nicely. That cannon is going to go down, not going to do enough damage. You know, Stork's going for a break, and this is going to be the turning point right here.
Oh man, a bunch of zealots did go down there, run right forward. Didn't do exactly what Stork wanted to. He probably wanted to drag all those mines. Meanwhile, this harassment from Natus finally does go down. Bunch of vultures moving in here. Some do go down. Oh, a bunch of vultures go down to their own mines. So this is the only problem. This is the only mistake Natus making. He's falling to his own mines, which just delays this. Delays Nada's own victory here. Nada's delaying his own victory. Sad to see and sad to hear. Meanwhile, Nada now taking more expansions. He knows just macroing up, doing insane damage. Stork in such trouble here. No economic damage done by him. Oh man, his main almost completely mined out. He's been prevented to mining from his mineral only. His natural always in trouble. That 12 o'clock also in trouble, being forced not to mine. He has like 10 to 12 gateways at this point, but he just doesn't have what he needs to micro up at all times. Those tanks doing a lot of damage, taking out idle forces, running around like those zealots. And now SCVs, a bunch of SCVs also moving in. They're probably going to set up just buildings, turrets and stuff to try to block and prevent Stork's forces. And meanwhile, wow, okay.
Oh! What is Nada doing there?
Apparently he's writing some sort of insult signal. Maybe it's the FU just at a turning point instead. Oh, it's a plus. Oh man, wow, Nada just doing insult signals. It's like a pylon heart. Oh man, Zealots now moving in. Nada with the turn version of the pylon heart. Now all those Zealots, this is the last move here. Oh man, this is it. I think Nada at this point just gonna move in now and win this match final.
Yeah, man, Nada not known for doing all that much bad mannerism, I don't think, but it looks like he is going to do some. I don't know what exactly he's looking to do. I guess it's just a plus in the middle of the map, and Nada showing why he is a previous champion over and over and over and over and over. It's because he freaking owns, even after playing for 1,000 years. I mean, Nada, by the way, I mean, he's just insane. You're right, he didn't lose any skill at all, apparently, and he is ripping Stork apart. I haven't seen Nada even make a mistake, other than maybe a mind drag or two, which, honestly, it's hard to avoid if the player... I mean, Stork has to totally kamikaze a whole bunch of units in order to do it, so it's hard to say it's anything against Nada even on that respect. And Stork just getting starved out of minerals. Nada on 5 bases now, I think, plus a plus in the middle. And Stork on 3 mining, 1 not really even mine. Well, No, he is on two mining, because the natural's mined out, the natural inside mineral is mined out, the natural outside expansion is not mined out, and two dropships coming in to try to take this out, and they are going to. And Stork is not going to have anything to say about this. He's going to lose all those probes, and that's definitely a win for Nada. There's no way, even if his Stork breaks out of this, he's so far behind economically, he's got no chance, and he should really be thinking about GGing at this point, and I'm going to say GG, GFG. Nice job, Nada. I love you, Nada. GG.
GG!
Amazing. That was great play, man. I am very impressed by Nada. For not playing many games, he has not lost anything. He just took out Stork. I mean, did you see that? Stork is a great PvT player, and Nada just walked over him like it was another day at the freaking office. So, man, what do you think, Merchant? How do you think that game played out after all?
Oh man, just early mistakes by Stork, and early nice aggressiveness by Nada just ended up with an absolute pincer and just own. That's all I can say, just own.
Yeah, very well done by both players. I mean, both players played well. Stork, though, just completely walled in from the beginning. Once Nada did that second timing push that he did, the first one screwed him up big time. The second one sealed the deal. And since then, since that point, Stork just couldn't get out of his base. And so Nada, obviously, to take the victory. So any last words for the commentary of the week before we end this?
No, just thanks a lot for having me, Rise. It was fun, and hope we manage to do this again someday.
Definitely. For those of you who don't know, Ranchin, you want to just tell them what your YouTube account is? I'll also put it in the information description, but why don't you tell them what it is real quick?
Yeah, youtube.com/user/ranchinda. Yeah, that's it, pretty much.
So thanks again for joining me. It was great to have you. You did a great job, and I'm sure you'll be back in the future doing more dual commentaries with us. Everybody, leave us some feedback. Let us know that if you liked the Ranchin. I'm assuming you did, because I did. So yeah, that's it for Commentary of the Week number 8. Make sure you go over to SC2GG.com and start voting for the next Commentary of the Week if you want to see some more epicalness in some StarCraft matches. Hope you all enjoyed that. See you in the next one. Bye.